All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-thru for yet another Positive Wednesday edition. Let's hear it for Third Bell, live screening today. Hear it for yourself. Thank you, Alex. Good energy. Special shout-out today to my former dog and lover, Chubbs. He was everything to me, and I just saw a picture that reminded me of him. Chubbs Peterson, he was awesome. He passed away while I was in Florida this summer. It was really tough. We were just a couple weeks away from putting him down. He was a Bernese Mountain Dog. Do you know what those are? And he lived to be 12 and a half years. His expected life was 4 to 7, so killed it. He was great and just ran out of gas. He was great up to the very end. So, all right, today was primarily a calculator day, okay? And so I might have already said that 6 times, but now that makes it 7. All right, so let's just take a look at number 1. Hit your y equals screen, and we're going to graph this thing. So you got to hit second x squared to get to your radical sign, and then hit your little x. But here, I want to show you. This is what you guys are going to do wrong on this. Take a look at my calculator screen. Can you see how that compares to the problem? It's wrong. It's different. Do you see how it's different? Yeah. So what I need to do is call this x, and then you got to hit the arrow and get out of there. And then hit +3, and now it looks like the way we want it to. And what you're going to find out today is that there's a big difference between those two graphs. Okay? So first, I just sketch it. Let me get my zoom right. So zoom 6. All right. So it looks weird. It's a weird-looking graph. I'm about ready to explain it to you. But first, I'll explain to you how to do this problem. So what's happened is the original point has moved up 3. So our translation is going to just say up 3. That's it. Okay. If we wanted to be technical, we could say a vertical translation of +3, but I don't think that makes all that much sense. Okay? Yes, and I'll explain more here, just right now on this screen. So here's what's going on. You guys just graph something, and we're going to look at your table so that you get a better view of what it looks like. But at 0, 3, it starts, and it looks like that. And that's a graph you've never seen before. And the graph was radical x +3. Well, let me explain to you what's going on. You remember yesterday how we were solving for inverses? And we would square both sides, and we would get something that looked like this? Okay? Well, see, this is not a function. Remember how you would write not a function if this is what you got? The reason why is there's another one down here. It's a sideways parabola. But if it was a parabola, do you remember the test to see if something was a function? Very good, Sky. It's called the vertical line test. So now this would not be a function, which is why we're not allowed to do that. So we have to take the minus sign away so that it passes the vertical line test. And now that might explain to you why we have this weird graph. Does that help at all? At least does it make you understand that we're just graphing the top of a parabola. Okay? So the next thing I want to show you is how to use your calculator, and just a reminder of this really good table function. So if you hit second graph, sorry, I'm way away on my table. Awkward video moment. All right, here we go. So really, you should start your graph by finding the error. Any idea why that says error in your calculator? Why is there an error at -1? No, that's not why it's an error. It is where the parabola starts. Exactly. What's the square root of a -1? it's imaginary, your calculator ain't going to do that for you, so it just spits out error. Does that make sense? Okay? So, all I want you to do on these is I want you to plot at least 3 points every time. So you'll notice that 0, 3 is on there. And the next one that I can see is 4, 5. Sorry, and 1, 4. Thank you. Let me go back to that. Sorry. 0, 3, 1, 4, 4, 5. That's enough to get my curve pretty good. And that's it. That's all we're doing for that one. Okay? So you guys could do these faster than I can show you. So all I'm going to do is, now we're going to flip over to the back. I'm going to do one more thing for you, because I think you'll need help with this. So now go back to y equals and clear it. And let's do number 9 for this one. So 3 minus, here's where I think you might need my help. If you remember how to get the cube root, you got to go to math, and then it's this fourth option. Now we got the cube root. Here we do want everything to be included underneath the radical. Okay? And hit graph. And that's what these cube root graphs look like. They look like waves, kind of. Okay? So, before we graph anything, let's hit up our table. And there we've got some nice even points there. We got a -1, 3, a -2, 4. Let's see. -2, 4, -1, 3, 0, 2. And then let's just see if we can find one more that's realistic. There's one. 7, 1. Okay? So, by looking at our graphing calculator, now we've just got some actual points identified on there. And that's it. It'll be a pretty easy day for you. Okay? Boom!